Hey.
Oh, good evening, LG. And how are you?
I'm doing good.
So this is probably going to be it for Ace Attorney 2.
Yeah, almost definitely.
Unless I screw around too much, which is always a possibility.
Definitely could.
But it's been quite an adventure so far, and while I haven't actually done the math, as in I haven't added up the total time of each episode, I will tell you this. As of last stream of this series, I have more episodes of Ace Attorney 2 than Ace Attorney 1, which is saying something because Ace Attorney 1 had Rise from the Ashes.
Yeah, that one took a while.
Anyway, I think we were interrogating some kind of toaster oven the last time I was here.
Yeah, that checks out with what I recall from the VOD.
Okay. I assume you're going to be voicing D. Killer and Kilometers Lost as Edgeworth?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good, sir. In that case, I believe it is your line, something about taking a request by mail. This is the cross-examination portion.
Yes. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail.
I would have been more surprised if you took it by female, but sure, let's press. But didn't you just say you always meet your clients?
Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible.
But didn't you meet your client this time?
No, I did not.
Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I actually did this last time, but still. Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse.
Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me.
Alright then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. He's a frickin' serial killer, Your Honor.
I am a professional!
Okay, you might be a professional serial killer, and I might be an unprofessional everything. But you're still a serial killer.
Yes, but I'm a professional at it. You must give me the respect I deserve.
I'm pretty sure the respect you deserve is that you're going to be committing suicide when this case is over. Don't ask me how I know you're planning on doing that.
Odd, that doesn't sound like me.
It certainly did sound like me.
Touché, Mr. Wright. Touché.
Anyway, you're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. D. Killer met with his client? Oh! I don't think this happened last time, but I'm pretty sure I do have proof. We've come this far, I have to try to prove something here. Very well, I will show you proof. Well, Mia's asking me if I'm sure about this, which means I probably fucked up, but sure.
Are you sure about this, Phoenix? I was.
Here's the proof that that the witness met with his client who wished Mr. Kurita dead. So here's the thing. Right? It's the frickin', or it should be, the teddy bear. Because he literally handed it off to said client. We know that from Willpower's testimony. I'm not saying he met with the client before, but he certainly met the client in person, although somebody's gonna make a point that client was wearing a nickel samurai costume. Fuck, I screwed up, didn't I? I mean, I had a logical train of thought here. I did.
You did?
I did, because again, handing the bear off to the client means that you met with the client. I just forgot that the client was dressed as the nickel samurai at the time, and it would, like, the overall point is that we're trying to figure out if he knew or should have known that the client was male or female.
Yeah, we're trying to prove they met before the kill.
It doesn't matter before or after. It doesn't. Because it still should have been, like, even if he had met her afterward, he still should have known she was a she.
That might be what we're trying to prove here.
I've
honestly forgotten what exactly we're trying to
If memory serves, and it usually doesn't, but if memory serves, the whole reason that we're having this whatever is because de Killer slipped up and called Adrian Andrews a he instead of a she, because it's an androgynous name. So all I really would have needed to prove is it doesn't really matter when de Killer would have met Adrian Andrews. If de Killer had ever met Adrian Andrews even once before or after the murder, de Killer should have known Adrian was a woman. That's where my mind went, and that's why I thought the bear would be good evidence. But then I realized a little too late, well, shit, no. Whoever it was that he met with was wearing the fucking nickel samurai costume. I still don't think that I should get penalized for this. I will. Like, I know I absolutely will. But it's still a relatively logical train of thought. But I don't think there's going to be another Hanukkah miracle, and I think Phoenix is just going to screw this up. Yup. This is just a generic line, which means I know I screwed up. So, what do you think?
Oh, it's actually not generic, I don't think. That's the best part.
What do you mean by that? You know what, never mind.
I don't think this is using any of the generic incorrect evidence lines. This one is bespoke.
Okay, then so, what do you think? Not that he can see it because he's a fucking radio.
You may say, what do you think? However, I am, for all intents and purposes, a transceiver radio.
Yep. Oh, that's right. You can, yeah, okay. So this actually went where I thought. That's right, you can't actually see the evidence.
Well, I don't think this was one I needed to see.
I do.
I can hear the pure silence in the air there.
Hey, LG. Hey, Emmy.
Hello,
Hello.
MCH. So, okay, I screwed up. Even though, again, logically speaking, I still feel like the point could have been made that he had to have met with his client to hand off the bear, which we know he did. Then Edgeworth could have come in and said, well, client was dressed in nickel samurai costume. But that didn't even happen, so... Doug, how could I have picked the wrong piece at a time like so? Okay. I get penalized. I think that's stupid, but still.
Ace Attorney logic is basically just pure visual novel, so you kind of need to...
I know, MCH. Look, trust me, if this was a create-your-own-adventure in any way, shape, or form, de Killer would have been dead a long time ago.
Yeah, fair enough. Just like they expect one answer. The 3DS games actually changed. The 3DS games changed that. You can submit multiple answers in the 3DS game.
By the way, I should point out, so one of the things that I've been harping on the past few streams of this, and I will clarify because I actually got a weigh-in on this. So I've been saying that what we could have done if this was a good court system was we could have gotten, right, because Shelley de Killer has literally admitted to killing Juan Tequila.
Here's
the thing.
Killed that man dead.
Right.
Here's the thing. It's Japanese court system.
It's not.
American.
No. You're wrong. You are 100% wrong, sir. You know how I know that? Because Adrian Andrews literally pled the fifth. Literally, that exact term was used.
Here's the thing, though. That's not entirely true.
No,
this game
that is entirely true.
I know this, Emmy, because I've been very, very active in development and like development stories for the series. Like they explicitly made the series to be a middle finger to Japanese middle court system, which has a 99.99% conviction rate.
That may be why they made this, but the court system in this isn't the Japanese system, and it's not the American system. It's some weird whatever mishmash of what, but regardless, yes, you could say that it's localization, yes, you could say it's this, yes, you could, but again, Adrian Andrews literally pled the fifth. And the only context in which that makes sense is the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. But you're not letting me. You're not letting me finish my overall point.
Well, okay.
So I had said that since Shelley de Killer admitted to killing Juan Tequila, we can find my client not guilty of murder because he literally did not do it. Then Shelley de Killer returns my precious little goblin, and then Shelley de Killer mysteriously commits suicide and leaves a note saying who his client was. Very mysterious. Don't know how I know that's going to happen. But then we turn around and we try Matt Scotchgard for conspiracy to commit murder or literally hiring an assassin, both of which are felonies. So, I got to weigh in on this. I've been saying that that's a nice, clean way of handling this. But I got to weigh in on this because my wife's mother is actually an attorney. So my wife was actually a paralegal. My wife was actually a paralegal for a little while. And I suggested this to her, and she said, no, that still would technically probably fall under double jeopardy. Because I'm saying it's technically a completely separate crime than actually committing the murder.
If you're talking about double jeopardy, you're going to have a hoot at one later case.
Well, that's all besides the point. But, so strictly speaking, I want to point out that at least according to the American legal system, what I was saying was technically, as far as the double jeopardy argument is concerned, I was most likely wrong. I think there would be one rare case where you might be able to pull it off, and to be fair, in a situation like this, where you found out that all of the direct evidence that implicated him in the murder in the first place was wrong, and then subsequent evidence of wrongdoing shows up from a completely different source, you might be able to pull it off in the American legal system. Maybe. But you're still probably going to run into double jeopardy there. Now, that said, given that this is not the American legal system, and it's not the Japanese legal system, it's some weird mishmash blend of the two, or complete work of fiction, they probably... I would still say my overall point still stands, because I would bet that anybody in this universe, like especially prosecutors, judges, police, they'd all be willing to do what I suggested anyway. Because, again, this is very much a guilty until proven innocent kind of thing, and I'm sure there's no such concept as double jeopardy or anything in this particular court system. Again, despite the specific use of the phrase, plead the fifth, which...
There actually is a concept of double
jeopardy.
Yeah,
no double jeopardy at all. That's definitely not going to be a huge thing later. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
There is a double jeopardy in a later case.
Don't spoil nothing! Unless it's in those silly, non-canonical investigation games.
Those are canon! What the fuck?
Non-canonical. Lost as Edgeworth's not allowed. Lost as Edgeworth's not allowed to have his own games.
Collective hallucination.
Yes. Mass madness.
Okay, so you're just setting the whole fan base to attack you with that, you know?
Go ahead, give him the engagement.
I'm already aware that my opinion on Lost as Edgeworth is not a very popular one. I'm not the only one who feels the way I do about him, mind you. But I'm also aware that I'm in the vast... Now, I don't hate the guy anymore, because that was incredibly too unhealthy. But I will never like him. And I certainly cannot and will not play a game where he is the protagonist. Therefore, according to my canon, his games aren't canon.
You should, though. Investigations 2 is one of the series' best for many.
Play. Anyway,
Investigations 1 I could take or leave.
I still have to figure out what the hell I have to do here. There've been times when I took a job without having met your client. Oh, wait, that's LG's line.
How did you guess exactly what I was going to say?
It's almost like I've heard this before.
But yeah,
incredible.
But yeah, regardless, you really still should play Investigations 2 at least.
No. First of all, I don't think I could do that without playing Investigations 1. And second of all, I have already said that if my ego ever merged with that of Miles Edgeworth, the world would implode.
Whatever. As for other stuff, like, funnily enough, a lot of people do call the series Japan, where it said Japan.
Yeah, Japanifornia.
Yeah. But it's just foreshadowing Big Hero 6, honestly.
Alright, let's continue though. LG?
Yes, there have been times when I took a job without having met my client.
Press. And why could you not...
There is one thing I will say, though. A big part of Investigations 2 is actually spoiled by Dual Destinies, the 5th game, so...
I mean, I plan on going straight from... Well, okay, whenever the hell I finish Ace Attorney 3... So, tonight I'm finishing Ace Attorney 2. Probably. Yeah. Unless I keep screwing around like I've been doing. But tonight I'm finishing Ace Attorney 2. The plan is to then play Ace Attorney 3 at some point in the future after that, and then go straight into the Apollo Justice trilogy.
Yeah, Dual Destinies is the second of that. And
Good.
Falls Investigation 2.
Yeah, no. I need to get to Dual Destinies as quickly as possible because I'm told there's a red-headed main character who I won't have to convict of murder. That's the only reason I'm still playing Ace Attorney, by the way.
But yeah.
And why could you not meet certain clients?
Recently, I have been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities.
Nice.
Also, one last thing, we have to actually get going soon.
Okay.
One last thing, though. I'm not a big Edgeworth fan myself, but I do still like investigations, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I'll keep it in mind. I am not at this time ever planning on playing those. Like I said, original Ace Attorney trilogy, then the second Ace Attorney trilogy. Might get to Great Ace Attorney at some point, because I happen to own that. And then if I'm desperate for content, I might go investigations. Or
I'm just saying, like, I'm not a big Edgeworth fan myself. I've gone in flames for similar reasons. I do like them in investigations, though. That's about it.
Or, and I don't think this is actually going to happen. I think that the time when this is gonna, the time when things like this happened is long gone. But if I were to be participating in a charity event and we hit certain targets, maybe I can be compelled to play certain games. Maybe. Like I said, I mean, yes, that's how I ended up playing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Well, and technically Let's Go Eevee and Legends Arceus, but technically I'm pretty sure unless they're specifically Pokemon games, the time for this has passed. Because I think we're trying to focus more of those on Bulbagarden-specific things as opposed to, well, having me go out and create my own content. Because it doesn't really make sense for me to be participating in a charity event through Bulbagarden, only to have the incentive not be something that shows up on Bulbagarden. But whatever.
That is a fair point, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta get going. I just mainly stopped in to say hi.
Appreciate you, MCH. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, one thing. I might actually be in Chicago for 10 days this year, so I might actually have a chance to meet up with you for once.
Yeah, it seems like you're always in town when I'm out on a business trip. So we'll see.
I mean 10 days is longer than the usual 4.
Yes. So there's a much better chance of that this year. But we'll talk about that off stream.
Yeah. Alright, see ya.
Adios. Nice business opportunities.
On top of which, the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct?
Which is why you're using a transceiver radio.
Exactly! I have joined the times! And now, take requests via electronic mail.
Electronic? Yeah, I remember this from last time. So I already pressed everything, but you know what? It's good to refresh my brain on what we have and have not done. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope?
No, I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email.
Interesting question. Does Shelley de Killer, and I'm asking you, LG, does Shelley de Killer ever actually use a contraction in any of his dialogue?
Ooh, that's very interesting. I've not actually been paying attention.
Because technically contractions are shortenings of words. Not that that's anything that I would nail him on, mind you, but it would be an interesting bit of attention to detail if this is something that's consistent where he never uses contractions.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it going forward, but it's way too much to check backwards now.
Don't worry about that.
Actually, earlier in this very line, I'm very sorry.
Well,
he totally contracts.
He does, in which case I refute your point that you hate shortening of words. You should have said I am.
Alas, I am hypocritical.
We knew this because you're a professional assassin. Email? In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot, hands down. I mean, you happen to know a parrot, Phoenix. We can have this contest if you really want. Oh wait, it's your line.
Anyway, so, you took this job without having met your client. And... the quest was for the murder of 1 tequila and 2 or 3 other small things.
In other words, 2 tequila and 3 tequila. We better check up on Floor.
Oh no, everybody loves Floor. No, I can't imagine anybody would hire me for him.
So here's what I'm wondering. Because I'm starting to remember this from last week. Where I pressed on this, and I said 2 or 3 other things, and then I was debating whether or not I should actually press him on this. And I chose to back down. I'm wondering if I was wrong then. 2 or 3 other things?
Yes.
And what were these other things? Leading the... Yeah, well, the witness is a frickin' radio, Snowy.
I object. I couldn't possibly be leading the witness. Yes, indeed, we're 2 completely different people. Completely different.
Ah, yes. We can use Little Goblin Knows Best when LG is here.
Sure can.
But only because Little Goblin and Lone Garurumon have the same initials.
I knew there was a cosmic reason for this.
What you want, LG?
Let's go snipper-whapping.
Very well! I will voice everybody like Old Bag! But it's not my line right now, Snipperwhapper, it's yours!
Oh, you know, a few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
Old Bag doesn't believe you, Snipperwhapper. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be real bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. I'm gonna press further anyway, because Old Bag never knows when to stop. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide, you Snipperwhapper!
Ms. Oldbag.
Well, what do you want, Snipperwhapper?
Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client.
I'm an Old Bag!
Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination.
Exclamation mark! I'm an Old Bag. I like pushing everything, and pushing people's buttons, and getting to the bottom of whatever I can get to the bottom of.
Getting to the bottom? But aren't we already there? Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
I would never do such a thing, you stupid Snipperwhapper. That's ridiculous.
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one...
Whoa, wait a second, you stupid Snipperwhapper. I'm just asking questions because that's my job. Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Oh dear. The game is really, really, really telling me not to. Which is really, really, really compelling me to.
No, please, don't progress the story. No, whatever you do.
I mean, it's literally the only thing I haven't tried yet. So you know what? Fuck it, we're doing this. We're pushing you, you stupid Snipperwhapper. Witness, this is a very important matter. please cooperate and tell us what are these other jobs your client requested were.
If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice.
Wait, holy shit.
bear.
I was actually supposed to do that?
Quite so. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And? Where was that figurine, you stupid snipper-wapper? Speak up! I'm old, I can't hear very well.
It was inside Mr. Tequila's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. So the game was going exactly the fucking direction that I thought it was going when I presented that fucking bear, wasn't it?
Maybe. I honestly haven't read what happens with the statement we had for this.
Well, because he literally says, I handed it over to my client right away, when his current testimony is that he never met his client at all. Anyway, okay. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me, and I'm old, so I know important information when I hear it, and it's not gossip. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews.
So now I'm gonna press, and I'm gonna say, you've just fucking said you didn't meet Adrian. Goddamn, I was ahead of this fucking game again, wasn't I? Hold it! I found this figurine at Mr. Scotchgard's mansion. If you gave it to Ms. Andrews, then what was it doing there?
I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Scotchgard, I'm sure.
That makes a lot of sense, except Will Powers testified that he saw de Killer giving it straight to the client. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? There is a contradiction, Your Honor. So, de Killer says he gave the figurine to Ms. Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Present evidence or think it over again? Well, let me check my fucking court record. Because technically Will Powers' testimony is not part of my evidence.
Correct.
Dr. Wright is rethinking and is saying that he's going to think it over again. It's no use. As long as I can't put my finger on the central problem here, pressing this witness anymore would be extremely dangerous. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's been way more than 5 minutes of snipper-wappering. It appears that Mr. Wright has no, I have plenty of problems. Well then, witness, please continue.
When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
Press? Okay, I'm wondering if this is another one of those stupid situations where I gotta press things in a ridiculous order. Because that happened a lot last time.
It happened a lot last time, but it's not happening this time.
So what the fuck do I have to present? Well, let's see if this changed at all with the new line. So you're saying that you never saw your client's face, not even once?
I did. Once. It was when I went to give the client the figurine.
Yes, I see.
But Ms. Andrews was wearing a mask at the
time. Oh, fucking Christ. So, actually, this was already mentioned. Everything that I said was already mentioned last week. I'm a dumbass. A mask? The Nickel Samurai mask, I'm guessing. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of tech? I mean, it contradicts what he said literally right before when he was talking about actually meeting up with Adrian at Scotchgard Manor. Or Mansion, or whatever the hell it's called. But again, that's not in my evidence, is it?
Well, this might not necessarily be evidence, specifically.
I mean, it's not a specific person.
Yeah, but I mean, it might not be, like, presenting. Sometimes...
But it did last time. Also, I love how they still have him listed as John Doe, the butler of Scotchgard Mansion, and then they have him as Shelley de Killer as a separate. But it's the same fucking person.
What? No!
Alright, let's see what happens when I say there is a contradiction. One thing does sort of stick out at me, Your Honor. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's fate. Oh, good lord. ... Let's recall Mr. Power's testimony. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Nickel Samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. Okay. Why am I pushing him on this? This is bad. You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. Scotchgard. And at the time, he was not wearing his Nickel Samurai mask. Well, I must increase my count. By the way, did you notice my second count?
Yes, I saw you had that in last time.
Two radio explosions. Order! Yes, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Witness.
Yes, that night I did wander the floor as a bellboy. I received plenty of tips that night for carrying juice to the various rooms.
Which is exactly what I was saying last time. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was saying last time, is that he could have met up with Scotchgard in person. Scotchgard had no idea he wasn't a bellboy and gave him a tip.
The man who gave me that tip was not my client. He was probably just a very generous person. Objection! I'm sorry, but sadly we are not nearly so generous here. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting?
Because your father figure shouted at you in German and forced you into this particular profession. And said father figure is now on a body pillow cover that is sitting on my bed.
Manfred didn't die, he was simply kidnapped.
Uh-huh. Oh, the Dijon mustard. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man? See, this is what I said last time. Where is your evidence that the large roll of cash was in fact, or was not in fact, a tip? I said that last time. Come, Mr. Losses Edgeworth, show me the monkey. I mean, the money.
What? Mr. Attorney.
Yo.
You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange.
I'm a little strange. Have you done any research on me and my cases at all?
Fair point. But right now, I would say you don't seem to believe Ms. Andrews is my client.
Oh no, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know. We try to get to the truth here.
Oh, I know, and I agree. Lies are not a good thing at all.
Okay, so what's your problem, buddy?
No problem. I think we're on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember,
Yes.
if I feel threatened in any way, I am free to cut contact at any time.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. At the same token, I'm also well aware of your impending suicide, so whatever, buddy. If only you were this callous all the time. I had to change the judge's line because I didn't say Phoenix's line. Anyway, I do not see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue. So, I still haven't figured out what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. I'm stuck in an endless loop. Therefore, you...
The important thing is that you've added the statement.
I know, but I haven't figured out what the hell to do with that statement. Therefore, you may continue, witness. We've pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? Seems like we're still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, we will end up completely destroying D Killer's lie. Will we? Because I can't figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to do that. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation this will put us in. Yeah, I know. Little goblin in danger. All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time, but until I get out of this stupid infinite loop, they'll never reach us, will they? Alright, so obviously, there's a problem with this statement. There's nothing I have to present, right? I actually have to go present evidence at some point after I press. So it's press and then present evidence. But I still haven't figured out what the hell evidence I'm supposed to present. Found this figurine at Mr. Scotchgard's mansion. If you gave it to Ms. Andrews, then what was it doing there? Waiting for...
I was...
Yes. But what, like, so we're going through this again. That makes a lot of sense. So my problem with this piece of testimony, which I have, so there is a contradiction. Right, D Killer says he gave the figurine to Ms. Andrews, but he's said two different ways that he's done. But I can't, like, again, none of this is actually in my court record. D Killer says he gave the figurine to Ms. Andrews. I know somewhere in that statement there is a Yes, there is. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here... So, I have to present evidence. But nothing in my court record is sufficient evidence. At least not that I can figure out.
If you actually select present, the dialogue leading up to it may give you a little bit of a hint.
If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. Alright, Dr. Wright is going to present evidence this time. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Ms. Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Scotchgard Mansion. Is that correct?
Yeah. Where are you going with this?
I have no fucking clue. Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? ... This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it is possible for Ms. Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Why?
Okay, that didn't help you out at all, huh? Well, why would Ms. Andrews... I'm trying to come up with a way to build on this without just saying it.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that she would have, if she had received the bear, she would have opened it and destroyed the note immediately.
Yeah, probably.
In which case, the bear itself would have technically been... I don't know. I mean, again, that's the line of thought as far as the bear goes. Because she knew how to open it, she would have opened it and destroyed the note. But that is a massive, massive leap in logic.
This is Ace Attorney.
Yes, which means that there is no such thing as logic, massive leap or otherwise. Well, what the hell? I've got nothing better to do. Shelley de Killer. If you had really given the bear to Ms. Andrews... So it would have been the bear or the suicide note?
Yes, both of those were acceptable pieces of evidence.
Huh. Then this item should not have been inside it.
This item?
Yeah, don't forget that he can't see anything. He's a frickin' radio.
Yeah. I see where you're going.
Yup, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Yes, Judge, we're going to fucking Looney Land. Your Honor, please think back to Ms. Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Ms. Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order! 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 So that's where you two were going. I didn't need to pack this suitcase at all, did I?
Correct. So, by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Or that your client never actually got a hold of the bear to begin with. Which means...
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Hooray, more radio explosions.
Well, it's a good thing he gave us all of these spares.
Just like Adrian Andrews had all those spare pairs of glasses. Order! Order! Order!
Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Yes?
I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else.
Yes, I know where we're going with this, and how I'm going to turn you against Scotchguard. They are really, really hitting this nail hard on the head.
I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me.
That I'm Jewish and have no idea how to examine crosses?
Yes, but also, you must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No?
That's enough! If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do.
Take a nap? Commit suicide? Take a nap and then commit suicide?
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
No, you don't. Unless it's your impending death. Hold it! No, you don't. Stay here, you dummy.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
Otherwise, your suicide method will become all the more painful, you mean? What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Yes, I am threatening a professional assassin. Yes, I am fucking crazy. What else is new? Mr. Losses Edgeworth, what's going on here?
Yes, Your Honor?
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should...
Losses Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, this guy might actually start harming Maya more than just not feeding her. And by the way, again, not feeding your little goblin is also a very big sin.
The prosecution...
What has come over everyone? Even you are...
The prosecution... rests.
Holy shit, he's actually throwing the case when we both fucking know he's right. To save a little goblin's life. Is he allowed to get character development?
I mean, he did it last game.
No, he didn't. He ended last game exactly where he started, except he committed suicide.
Well, yeah, but he by the end of the last case, he was legitimately working to uncover the truth.
Yeah, but
At
this
least
is the
more than
exact
just...
opposite of that.
Yeah.
But we both know that there are extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
You know what? Lost as Edgeworth is an ally to little goblins. He'll put...
And isn't that the most important thing to be?
No, literally, he puts aside his code of honor and code of whatever for the sake of a little goblin. Despite what I said literally earlier this stream, I actually might have a modicum of respect for him now. I never thought I'd see the day. What is going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. No shit, Sherlock. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. ... If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. de Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley de Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. ... Exclamation mark! Mr. Wright. Yo. If I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt Scotchgard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. That is technically correct, yes, but she would get to have her own trial, and in light of Shelley de Killer's mysterious suicide, she would be found completely innocent. So, I still see no problems here. LG, do you see a problem here?
Well, we'd never pin Scotchgard for anything, since no double jeopardy.
Ah, but strictly speaking, I feel like this... So, again, it is like I said earlier, while in the American justice system, it probably wouldn't fly, I would wager that they'd take a second crack at Scotchgard in light of Shelley de Killer's suicide and confession of perjury.
Possible. You could call a mistrial on that.
And again, especially given the circumstances where there was a kidnapping, like, this is 100% grounds for a mistrial.
Yeah, this probably would count.
So, you know, again, even in the American justice system, there's maybe 1 in a billion shot of it, but, like, again, the appeals, and okay, you usually can't appeal an innocent verdict, but in this case, I really think you could. Like, there are some circumstances, I think, I may have to get legal counsel from my wife again, or my wife's mother, my mother-in-law. But I suspect, even in the American justice system, to say nothing of this cockamamie bullshit justice system, where they love shouting guilty at everyone, I suspect that there would be no issue with double jeopardy. I mean, strictly speaking, I have no choice here. Prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Ah, yes. Well, I will now recite the entire Constitution of the United States verbatim, Your Honor. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Scotchgard, to the stand. Why? The items from de Killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Does it now? Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as truly innocent and a good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman... We know the fucking note was forged by Juan Tequila. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Ah! Okay, why is he doing this in a public courtroom? Like, I thought he was working so damn hard to hide who he really was. And now he's literally outing himself to the entire frickin' world. This guy is a fucking idiot. I don't understand him at all. He spends so much time playing an idiot, but secretly being a master manipulator. And then when the judge accuses him based on something that happened, or something that it was written in a fake suicide note written by his rival, who would basically do anything to slander him. Now he just goes and reveals his true self to the world.
Yeah, I feel like this was kind of...
Number one genius here.
That the note was forged. I'm not even sure why they made it so he forged the note here. Like, I don't see what that's changed.
I mean, what it
so far?
What it's changed? Well, okay. First of all, the entire premise that the note was forged was why we needed de Killer's testimony in the first place. Because otherwise, if that was actually, well, no, because strictly speaking, even if it was Celeste Impax's handwriting. Okay, hold on. How much did that actually change the effects of anything? Now you've got me really thinking. No, now you've... Because even if it was her actual handwriting, I still could have argued that Adrian had just as much reason to go after the note as Scotchgard did. And was the only one who could open the thing. Plus, Scotchgard might not have even known that the note was in there. Then again, how the hell would Adrian have known that the note was in there? And the only thing that the note being forged does right now is make it make no sense that Scotchgard suddenly reveals his true self in the middle of court. Because again, that note, written by his arch-rival, should have meant nothing, because, you know, it's just him trying to be, you know, him trying to drag Matt Scotchgard down. It makes Juan Tequila look bad, not Scotchgard. Like, what it really makes it look like it happened is that maybe Juan Tequila actually found a suicide note, because there was technically ink on Impax's fingers. To be fair, that could have been put on afterward. But what it really makes it look like is that Juan Tequila found the actual suicide note, destroyed it, and made his own, because the original suicide note implicated him, which, let's be fair, right? He's the one who literally just called off their engagement simply because he didn't want Matt Scotchgard's sloppy seconds. Which is not really a reason for him to have done that. So yeah, the only thing that does, and it's not even anything that they address in the story, the only thing that it makes is it makes Juan look a lot worse, not Scotchgard.
Yeah.
I must be missing something huge here that's big and blatantly obvious, and
I mean, I'm missing it too, so I don't know. Maybe it comes up later, maybe not. I don't know.
Only one way to find out, but to me, in light of the fact that the note was forged, this confession and this reveal makes abso-fucking-lutely no sense.
Yeah.
So I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Scotchgard? Hey, what an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like that. I did nothing of the sort. I literally fucking got you off when there was so much damn evidence against you in the beginning, but okay. Aye, and refreshing like a spring breeze crop. It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? ... Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already, you stupid daft cunt. Right, Mr. Lawyer? ... Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? Yeah, the little goblin said you'd better get Scotchgard a guilty sentence. But if I did that, Maya will die. If I say he's innocent... Again, Ms. Andrews being charged as the murderer doesn't mean she won't have her own trial. I've also already volunteered to be her lawyer for free, which, let's be fair, for most of my clients I happen to be their lawyer for free, because it's not like people pay me.
Yeah, but we also have testimony from the assassin. And if that's enough to get Scotchgard off, then...
Yes, but the assassin will conveniently commit suicide, recant his testimony in a suicide note, and reveal that he was lying on behalf of Scotchgard.
Of course.
Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. All hinges on what I choose. Oh boy, I wonder if this is that alternate ending that Dawning told me existed.
I don't believe so. I believe that comes later.
Okay, now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. ... If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Scotchgard, is innocent. Humph, there's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you, laddie?
Right.
I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Oh god, I think my heart just stopped. My client, Matt Scotchgard, is... I'm a defense attorney. Why would I ever say my client is guilty? Part of me wants to believe that this is a fake choice.
But what if it isn't?
But yeah, what if it isn't? Look, I know what the right thing to do here is. The right thing to do is to declare him guilty, because he fucking is. Lost as Edgeworth is literally throwing the game, though. So how could I... Let me put it this way. How could I let Lost as Edgeworth throw the game and be a greater ally to little goblins than me?
Truly, it would paint you in a horrible light.
But here's the thing. Little Goblin wants the guilty verdict.
She sure does.
So, maybe save Little Goblin's life, but what's the point of it if Little Goblin will never talk to me again? Guilty. I literally hit the fucking button. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Scotchgard, your client deserves an answer. I gave one. ... Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Scotchgard is... Oh, look! Objection!
It was a fake choice!
It probably
Franziska
was.
stops you from saying either way.
Well, good. Franziska von Karma, I am very happy to see you. What are you doing here? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Yeah, no, the 18-year-old girl tracking the 33-year-old man.
That's... Bring them! The final pieces! Do you have them?
You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Kilometers Lost His Edge. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is! That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? And since when am I allowed to present evidence? Oh wait, I'm always allowed to present evidence. It was only that one fucking case that I wasn't. ... This trial is already over. There has really been no chat since the last time you were here, Snowy. Yeah, it's a quiet night. But yeah, no, that is definitive. Look, we've already said that this is not at all how courts work. This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. LG, what do you think? As in, what should I do with that little goblin knows best?
Ah, we have a thing. Okay, This evidence is going to turn the entire case upside down.
I figured you were... You know what? That's very clever. As soon as I heard you saying that, I knew exactly where you were going. All right. What?
Objection! Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Ms. von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you are right, Mr. Losses Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. There are obvious rules here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Oh, that is actually pretty obvious, yes. Now, Ms. von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by de Killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a hurry, or quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor, de Killer left these pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're going to see, somewhere among the evidence we are about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole shit show. I think it says situation, but I'm going to say shit show because that's funnier. Around.
It certainly has been.
Like a miracle.
A Hanukkah miracle.
Except Hanukkah's, even Hanukkah's over at this point. Anyway, Snowy demands a hydrate. I have been hydrating. The reason that I took that away is because you and Dawning were abusing the hell out of it. And I hate going to bed and then waking up 2 hours later having to pee. Anyway, I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. Dawning is your partner in hydrate. I'm also not sure where Dawning is. Like, I have not heard from Dawning all day, and it's kind of worrisome. Anyway, the first item is a pistol. Does de Killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Question more... No, question for more... Question for more what? Oh, details. Or... more details are not needed. I don't think that the pistol has anything to do with this case because the guy was killed by strangulation. So I'm going to say details not needed. I'm pretty sure there was no There was no gun involved in this. I mean, other than the one that he probably used to shoot Franziska, which is a completely separate crime. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence.
But if you asked for details, you would have got the crucial lore that this is the pistol he used to shoot Franziska. She kept the bullet as a memento.
Yeah, I mean, technically true, but that has nothing to do with this case. Although, at least unlike her father, she actually had the bullet taken out. One of the items retrieved by de Killer, or from de Killer's hideout. Nothing else is known. I wonder if that would have changed if I'd actually asked for more details. Probably would have. Oh well.
Oh, actually.
The second piece of evidence is his videotape. Okay, this is very important. I bet de Killer took that from Scotchgard Mansion. Abso-fucking-lutely question for more details. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. This tape is incredibly important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout fight. Did de Killer went back for it? That is right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from de Killer. Shelley de Killer is no ordinary man. Videotape added to the court record. One of the items retrieved, de Killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. I know what's on that videotape.
What?
I don't think de Killer does, though. I don't think de Killer actually knows what's on that tape. The last pice of evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was all Matt's doing.
It was, and I don't think he knows he was recorded. I think if he knew he was recorded, this guy who specifically said something to the effect of, it would become tragic if his face was well known, would flip his shit.
And oh, there's nothing I value more than the trust between myself and my clients.
Another little goblin knows best just in time for me to want to flip my screen right side up again. Should I do that, or are you gonna have me keep the screen upside down?
Hydrate.
Okay. Then I will flip my screen right side up, and I will hydrate. The last piece of evidence is his bellboy's uniform. No, Snowy, that's such a powerful one that I removed it from actual rewards.
He's intimidated by it. That means it must be important.
I'm gonna question for more details. Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There is no doubt about it. De Killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing that I found interesting about this uniform.
And what is that?
There is a button missing on this uniform. Oh, hey, it's the one that got shoved into Matt Scotchgard's Hakama. No, I'm kidding.
A button?
It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. We don't have time for that. Bellboy's uniform added to the court record. Worn by De Killer on the night of the murder. One of its special buttons is missing. I think that's a red herring. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just... Hey, stupid. Stupid. We were given a videotape with something on it, and you don't even want to watch the fucking videotape before you declare all the evidence is junk? I can't work with this guy, LG. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley de Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Technically correct, yes.
The best kind of correct!
Yes, that is correct. And these three items do not tell us anything about that. On the contrary, Your Honor. Thank you for your hard work, Ms. von Karma. You may step down now. Hold it! Wait, Your Honor, do you at least want to check the fucking video before you decide that there's nothing important about it? Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. Bullshit! You can't determine if a videotape is or is not relevant to any of this information if you don't at least watch what's on the fucking video. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Hey, okay, I've got to make sure that I don't mix this up with my German accent. Ach, von... Okay, so if I was going German, it would be wunderbar. But I'm not going German, I'm going Scottish. Aye, wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he, Mr. Lawyerman? Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? Yeah, we already said that there was a Hanukkah miracle last time, you dummy. You have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far, you can't give up now. Yes, Phoenix. It's not impossible. Try, for my sake. Just think about it for... Yeah, no, use your brain. Not like that judge. There are two ways out of this situation for us. Yes, two. The first... make Scotchgard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. We could... De Killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Scotchgard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do... Yeah, no, that's impossible. The second way is to turn Shelley de Killer against Scotchgard, which I fucking knew this was coming. As soon as they started with that whole thing about him saying that a client who betrayed him would not be a client for long, I knew exactly where this was going. right? I said there were two crucial bits of evidence, or two crucial pieces of information in his first testimony. One, that he didn't want his face to be well known. And two, that any client who betrayed him would not be his client for much longer. The videotape is where I need to go here. If de Killer were to no longer think of Scotchgard as his client, then he would let Maya go. That's not impossible, you dummy. It really was a Hanukkah miracle that you were thinking last time. ... I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first. If you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, Judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. It's bullshit. You can't not accept a video without watching the damn video. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? What? What? Yes, think about it from the prosecutor's point of view. Guilty, 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 guilty. You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. He's wrong. If that's the case, then who does need... Yeah, well, Shelley needs it. The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we have seen all the pieces of evidence. That is how we come to know the truth. There is, in fact, one person who has yet to see them all. Correct. I am aware of where this is going. We need to present the evidence to Shelley de Killer. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I am as refreshing as a spring breeze, laddie. Objection! I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. ... Exclamation! Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Even though he's a fucking radio and won't be able to actually see a goddamn thing. ... Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one... Oh, good, infinite penalty time. I will grant you one chance. It's fine. I know where I'm going with this. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. Objection! That's impossible! To turn this situation around in one try! One try, that is all I will permit. Save, 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 save. Yep, fine. You're right. This is the first bad ending breakpoint, I believe. Okay, I'm still pretty sure I know what I need to do. You're pretty sure, but just in case, so we don't have to go through all that shit again if you're wrong. Fair. I have to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. Oh god, my head is catching on fire! There must be a way to save Maya while taking Scotchgard down at the... Yes, I figured this out last time. I am a 5D chess master. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. ... Who would you like to show evidence to? My fucking attorney's badge. The answer is quite simple. I'd like to show it to this John Doe fellow. I mean, they're technically the same person, but I'm presenting to Shelley de Killer. Take that. I see. Hello, Uzi. I'm about to present evidence to a serial killer. Because the judge doesn't want to see it. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person, despite the fact that he can't see it because he's a fucking radio. The videotape. ... Well, what do you think, Mr. Lost as Edgeworth?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. ...
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier, and hope to God that he can actually see it. And also hope to God that LG is kind with this next little goblin knows best.
Let's see. This is the wrong transceiver. This doesn't connect to de Killer. This connects to the afterlife with the fateful muncher.
What? That makes no sense, you stupid fateful muncher. How in the world did you get this number? I am Manfred von Karma. I am dead. You are not supposed to be able to call me and bother me in my time of death. I wanted a relaxing death. Not you stupid fateful munchers to come hounding on me after I have already paid my debts to society by being killed. And you drag my daughter into this mess too. How dare you, stupid fateful munchers. Although, to be fair, I believe that this means she is finally going to be the one who presents evidence that will convict your client, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and that will snap your perfect win record. Von Karma will triumph over you after all. This will be my ultimate vindication, you stupid fucking fateful muncher. But seriously, you have not told me how you got this stupid number. Explain yourself.
Honestly, it's a mystery to me as well. This should be the exact same transceiver we used last time.
Well...
Hello, Dad, by the way.
I do not want to hear it from you. Kilometers lost his Edgeworth. You and your father have been nothing but blights on my life for the whole time that I have been alive. Also, I wouldn't doubt that the stupid bailiff misplaced your transceiver. After all, we know bailiffs are a bunch of incompetent nincompoops. Like that Yami Yugi fellow. He was an incompetent buffoon who couldn't even kill Robert Hammond properly. Nothing to say about that? Mr. Kilometers lost his Edgeworth.
I mean, you're correct. He did a pretty bad job.
That was supposed to be the end of you, but then that stupid fateful muncher, Phoenix Wright, came along and ruined all of my plans.
Yes, he did do that, didn't he?
And to make things even worse, he shoved a bullet in my shoulder to do it. Don't think I have forgiven you for that, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I never will. You are guilty. Guilty, I say.
Would it make you feel better or worse to know that your daughter has a matching wound?
Worse. Who shot my little daughter? My perfect little angel.
Oh, funnily enough, it's actually the person we were trying to reach with this transceiver, Shelley de Killer.
He is a dead man. A dead man. I swear upon my own life that this man will commit suicide.
How interesting. That's exactly what Wright's been saying.
What? How could Mr. Wright know such a thing?
I don't know. Perhaps he's been tapping into some kind of etheric afterlife knowledge.
That is all
As you seem
bullshit.
to be.
That is all bullshit. There is no way somebody from the world of the living could possibly have done that.
I don't know, he seems to have managed.
Pah! He is but a stupid fateful muncher. And now I require some tea and his throat lozenge.
Yeah, I heard you going earlier. You good, mate?
I'll be fine. I do need a little bit of tea, though, so shouldn't take too long. I will be right back. The softer Franziska von Karma voice is fine, but when I actually go full-on Manfred von Karma with the objection, that's kind of painful.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can do it for short bursts of time, which is why I have not gotten rid of the stupid Farfel Muncher reward at this point, because I doubt I'll ever be voicing him for like an entire case again. Anyway, I will return shortly with a cup of tea.
Alright, catch you then.
Well, before I do that, though, let me make sure that I don't, Okay, good. I did actually manage to, because the screen was going to blackout. Be right back. Well, I did not plan on being away for that long. I do apologize for that.
Ah, well. We've still got time.
Yeah, no. It just so happened there was a pretty woman in my kitchen, and, well... these things happen. Anyway. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. And we actually got the right transceiver this time. Maya. She's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. ... I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape? What? Because this guy is a radio because he's the serial killer. Snowy. He's also the cause of my second counter, the radio explosions. Oh! That explains why it was a different transceiver than the one we originally got, because the previous 3 blew up. Just so happened...
Makes sense!
Yeah, it just so happened that that 4th one was not tuned to the correct channel. Look, Snowy, I don't fucking get this game either. I had a parrot on the witness stand in the first game. I'm interrogating a guy over the radio on this game.
Oh, I can't wait to see what ridiculous thing you interrogate in Game 3.
Myself. I don't know. I'm spitballing.
Unlikely. Maybe, but unlikely.
Yeah, well, maybe an alternate universe version of myself. Anyway, do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client not to watch it. So I have absolutely no idea!
What should you have for lunch? Deep dish pizza.
I had sushi.
Actually, you are on this tape.
Me?
No, you! I'm me!
That's what I said.
Don't have any input. Well, then why are you asking me what you should have for lunch? I don't know what you have access to. Okay, fine. I'll tell you what to have for lunch. Food. I presume you at least have access to something that would be considered food. Anyway, there was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. Sausage rolls, bolognese, lasagna. Lasagna is good. Garfield eats lasagna. Also, pie. Pie doesn't make a good lunch. Pie might make a good dessert. Does remind me, New Year, which means Pie Day is kind of right around the corner. I mean, it's still a couple months away, but still.
Soon.
February's short.
It is.
Anyway, your actions were being recorded.
What?
Is that true, Mr. Yes, Judge. why the fuck would you not watch the contents of this video? Like, okay, I'm not giving you this videotape as evidence because of the fucking physical thing itself. It's probably what's on it that's important.
Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
Exclamation!
That was Adrian Andrews?
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's right. There's also things like shepherd's pie, chicken pot pie, and beef pie, or what have you. Okay, fine. I guess technically those would be more meals than... But no, go have lasagna instead. Your client specified a place and time for you. Isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
Had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? ...
Wait, you're Australian? I had no idea.
Before you tell me why, you may wish to save the game again.
Ah.
This is the second and final break point for the bad ending. The correct answer is obvious, but should you wish to see the incorrect one, I believe it is pretty short. This is your final opportunity. Now, I would like to know why.
Why did Matt Scotchgard film the crime? He literally fucking told me. Also, you have a little goblin knows best, so you can force me to go the wrong answer. The reason why he did this is my ticket out of this whole mess. There is only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to see Juan get his, wanted to blackmail you, or didn't trust your skills. LG, you have a little goblin knows best.
They didn't trust your skills sounds very funny.
Very well. You are redeeming a take that.
Correct. And we saved, so it's fine.
Yep. Your client didn't trust your skills. That's why, in order to monitor your work, they set up a video camera.
Is that right? I suppose that were I to fail at my job, my client would fall into utter ruin. I can't say I don't understand the want to see how I do my job. As long as I could cleanly erase the tape, I suppose it can be overlooked.
Oh, is that how you feel? Well, everyone, what do you think? Pretty good, huh? ... Well, what do you think, Mr. Lost as Edgeworth?
I don't have anything to say to this.
How about you, Miss Von Karma? ... Vil, I was just shot, so what? I am afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. What? No one understands what you are talking about anymore. Well, wait, please, one more chance. That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Matt Scotchgard. Hooray! See, they give all the fanfare.
Yay! We did it! He's innocent!
There's never been a jury here, Snowy. But I also don't blame you for not knowing what anybody here is talking about. It's fucking bullshit. Anyway, that is all. This court is adjourned. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. In a trench coat! I never saw Maya again. De Killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Ms. Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist.
Yay, bad timeline.
Okay. Well, let's move on to Ace Attorney 3, shall we?
Yeah, I'm sure this won't cause any snarls in the continuity.
Does it actually affect if I were to go to New Game and start Trials and Tribulations? Would it actually cause a problem?
I'm going to say almost certainly not.
Yeah, probably, because the games were originally released at separate times.
Yeah, they were all separate cartridges, so...
Separate, I think even potentially separate game systems.
I'm not sure, actually. I know that they started on the GBA, and I know that at least one was re-released for the DS, but yes. I don't know if the later ones were on the GBA first.
I don't know. Anyway, why did Matt Scotchgard film the crime? Hey, look! We're right back. We're right back here. What just happened was a very bad dream. The reason why he did that, is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted blackmail on you. There's actually a fan game, Apollo Justice, Appeal to Truth set in that. Oh, interesting! Also, hi, Astra, dude. Nice to meet you. But that's interesting, but it does not actually affect Trials and Tribulations, I assume. I would say maybe it's worth doing, but I don't know how I feel about fan games. Regardless, we'll get there if we get there, but let's finish off this case and this game first. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. Aye, but I'm no weakling. I dinna believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come on now, Mr. Wright. Assassins, assassin. I'm mixing in my German accent with my Scottish accent now because I had to do both today. Ah, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Aye, that's where the video comes in, laddie. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Also, Astro Dude, because this is the first time I've seen you around here, FYI, I don't let anyone else have the same initials as me, so I'm Maniacal Engineer, hence the big M-E in the corner. Ergo, Miles Edgeworth became Kilometers Lost as Edgeworth, and Matt OnGuard became Matt Scotchgard before I even knew that he would have a glass of scotch in his hand. But because his last name is now Scotchworth, that's why I try to give him a Scottish accent. Unfortunately, I had to voice Von Karma earlier today, so I'm bleeding in some of my Scottish accent to that. I apologize to everyone, and I apologize for my offensive accents in the first place. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley de Killer? Oh boy, that's another radio explosion. Huzzah!
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them. To protect themselves from devastation, to unite all peoples within their nation, to denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend their reach to the stars of... Wait. I may have gone off script a little.
Oh, just a tad.
Anyway, to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client.
I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony.
So many times it was like them beating us over the head with it.
You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client?
You fool,
What
he
would you
already
do
mentioned
then?
that. He explicitly mentioned that in his very first testimony, but carry on.
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, the client would become my next target. For the honor of the de Killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to enact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know.
So, the traitor becomes de Killer's next target. Oh, I figured out why Matt Scotchcard's gonna want a guilty verdict now. Aha! I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around.
Mr. Wright.
You rang?
My contract with my client is over as of now.
Good.
I seem to have a new job on my hands.
Hi there, Jack boy.
I will now return to you your precious item.
Good. Make sure you have fed her before she is returned to me. Or else. What the? I'm not an item. Beep. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, you're leaving already, Jack? Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Oh god, so KR, we were interrogating a transceiver radio, but it's because de Killer was on... Okay, alright, fine. I think we're just about to wrap things up here. But let me just explain for those of you who have just arrived. Right? Just as a synopsis of this case overall, Juan Tequila was killed by an assassin named Shelley de Killer. We spent our client is Matt Scotchgard, and we were forced into taking Matt Scotchgard as a client by Shelley de Killer, who kidnapped Maya Fey and demanded a not guilty verdict on day one. Day one, we managed to say that all of the direct evidence that linked Scotchgard to the case was fabricated by Adrian Andrews. Day two, with the reveal of Shelley de Killer's calling card that Adrian Andrews had accidentally removed from the scene of the crime, we realized that the actual killer was a serial killer named Shelley de Killer. And we basically struggled to figure out who the assassin's client was. So what it came down to was Will Powers had basically seen Matt Scotchgard talking to a suspicious bellboy, giving him a rather big tip. Then the bellboy was seen coming out of Juan Tequila's room, and then seen handing something off to somebody in Matt Scotchgard's room who was wearing a nickel samurai outfit. The item in question was a wooden bear figure that was actually a puzzle that only Adrian Andrews and Juan Tequila, who is now dead, knew how to disassemble, and inside it was a suicide note, or an alleged suicide note from Celeste Impacts. Then, for some reason that LG and I haven't figured out yet, it turns out that, well, first of all, Phoenix then used this to his advantage, because the only people who knew how to open that bear were Tequila and Adrian Andrews. Phoenix used this to basically pin the crime, or pin the assassin hiring, on Adrian Andrews, even though, by the way, so the other thing is, Phoenix knows full well that his client Scotchgard actually hired de Killer. But because de Killer has Maya kidnapped, Phoenix has to do his best to try to get a not guilty verdict, or at least extend the trial until de Killer can be found, and it's a whole big fucking mess. If you want the full details, go watch the previous VODs. But the long and the short of it is, we've spent most of the past, most of today in court, basically trying to stall for time as Gumshoe attempts to track down de Killer. They find where he was hiding out, but they just miss him. Gumshoe snags a few pieces of evidence that de Killer left behind in his haste, which were then delivered to the courtroom by Franziska von Karma, because Gumshoe was an idiot and decided that running red lights was a good idea and got himself into a car accident. And Franziska, the 18-year-old girl, has a tracking device on the 33-year-old man, which is not creepy in the slightest. So she was able to track down Gumshoe's exact location. God, as I'm well, first of all, I'm going into far more detail than I need to, but as I'm summarizing this whole convoluted bullshit, I'm realizing just how much of convoluted bullshit this is. Anyway, after I damn near successfully pinned the crime on Adrian Andrews, Losses Edgeworth reveals that he apparently made a deal with the devil in this case being Shelley de Killer, and called him as a witness on the stand. But of course, Shelley de Killer wasn't actually going to come into the courtroom. So instead of Shelley de Killer actually showing up in the courtroom, it's a two-way transceiver radio. And on the condition that we don't trace the location of the radio, de Killer will testify as to who his client is. Now, of course, lost as Edgeworth had been assured that Shelley de Killer would name Matt Scotchgard as his client, but was betrayed by Shelley de Killer, who subsequently, by the way, later claimed to hate people who were backstabbers. So there's another contradiction in there. I'm not going to think about it too much. But anyway, so Shelley de Killer actually called out Adrian Andrews as his client, and I've been carefully trying to stall out and question his testimony until Franziska arrived with the pieces of evidence from Shelley de Killer's hideout. And so Franziska arrived and had a gun, which had been used to shoot her, a videotape, which nobody saw the contents of, and a bellboy uniform with a missing button. And I will never figure out where the fuck that missing button went. The judge, without even bothering to watch the video, despite the fact that that was probably something important, decided that he didn't need to see any of the evidence before declaring a not guilty verdict on Matt Scotchgard. So I had to instead present evidence to Shelley de Killer and make sure that I presented the correct evidence to the correct person, which was presenting the videotape to Shelley de Killer, who, despite being a transceiver radio and not being able to see evidence at one point, was suddenly able to see this video, and basically turn him against Matt Scotchgard. And I believe that's where we're at now, since Shelley de Killer realizes that his own client was trying to blackmail him.
I have no clients.
He has now terminated that contract, is now planning on turning on Matt Scotchgard, and is releasing Little Goblin Maya. I'm still reasonably certain that Shelley de Killer is going to commit suicide after this whole event, and LG has another Little Goblin knows best.
Oh, and Edgeworth helped out so much during this last little stretch, didn't he?
No.
I think it's time for some compliments.
No.
Oh, he did things.
Alright, yes, he did. The great and wonderful Miles Edgeworth, hero and ally of the little goblins everywhere. He is so noble and so gracious that he was willing to... I mean, it's like I said earlier, he literally was willing to completely throw out his entire code, right? His entire pursuit of the truth to save a little goblin's life. Truly, he is a man worthy of respect, worthy of my love and admiration, worthy of sharing the same initials as me. And just, I could not, I absolutely could not have done this. I could not have stalled out. I could not have, waited or bided my time. I could not have done any of this without Miles Edgeworth, because he threw away so many chances to get my client convicted and declared guilty. It was the least that I could do to not accept any not guilty verdicts when they showed up. And honestly, after this, I still owe him so damn much that there is no way that I will ever be able to repay him for the kindness and just the benevolence, the heroism and the nobility that he has shown in this case. Truly, truly, he is a wonderful man, a lovely man, the best lawyer, hands down, in this universe, which, okay, given the fact that it's a universe of idiots, that's not a massive compliment, but still, like, he is so smart, he is so skilled, he is so refined, so just drop-dead gorgeous, too. And his fashion sense is just to die for. Like, this is a man that it's just so many complicated feelings that I feel when I'm thinking about this glorious and wonderful man. I can't even really put it into words just how wonderful and lovely and heavenly he is. Again, this is a guy, who is a man, who is a savior of little goblins. He is absolutely worthy of my respect. He is absolutely worthy of my love. Right? He's not edge unworthy, he's edge worthy. And just so smart. Everything that has happened in this case, even everything that happened in case 3 happened literally according to his plan. Guy's a fucking mastermind. Like I said earlier that I'm the guy playing 5D. No. I'm playing checkers while he's playing 5D chess with time travel rules. That's how good he is. And I'm probably just eating the checkers, too. Like, I've actually completely forgotten how to play checkers. I can play backgammon.
Gammon's fun.
It really is. But yeah, no, it's, again, I would not be here right now without Miles Edgeworth. And this is actually coming from me. I do actually have a little bit of respect for, actually, more than a little bit of respect for him after this case. I think I actually do.
He got in with you good with the goblin thing.
He did. I've got my watch in front of me, KR, but honestly, if things go a little bit long here, I'm not gonna, because I feel like this case is wrapping up very quickly, so it's gonna be a short stream today regardless. But
honestly, there's a surprising amount of scrolling still to do, but yeah, we're definitely in the decline.
Yeah, but regardless, like, with the timer done, I really do have more respect for Edgeworth after this case. He has... I still don't fucking understand why he pretended to commit suicide for a year. I think that was a horrible decision that the game writer made. But, well, you know what? I'll discuss all of this when I'm discussing my feelings on the game as a whole. So let's just continue with the story then. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion for like the 87 millionth time. Actually, I should have had a counter for number of false ends that this trial has had. Nah, broken glasses and radio explosions are funner. However, I am sort of... I don't quite know what just happened with the client and the witness, and... Ow! Ms. von Karma, where did that...
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it is time to finally hand down a verdict.
Is it actually? Because Shelley de Killer never actually said who his client was.
Oh, I'm sure it'll wrap up.
Mr. Scotchguard. It looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. He's sweating bull. He does not look very happy. You should be happy.
But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. ...
Exclamation mark!
Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video.
Or if you knew it was on that video. Help me!
Now then, Your Honor. The verdict, if you please.
Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? Why wouldn't it be? I'm the defense attorney. My job is to get my client declared not guilty. You heard Shelley de Killer. He killed Juan Tequila. My client is innocent. We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief.
Follow your heart.
My heart says not guilty and let the fucker get killed by Shelley de Killer.
If that's the way your heart's telling you, that's the answer to give.
On the other hand, since I know Shelley de Killer is about to commit suicide... I mean, Scotchguard doesn't know that, but I do.
Oh, I'm sure he could delay the suicide for a week or two.
He doesn't deserve that consideration. So, the only way to get both of them is to plead guilty. Matt Scotchguard. ... Exclamation mark! Even though I'm assuming that this is supposed to say defense attorney.
Yes, we all know the
stupid
game's
translation
terms is a little weird.
Oh my god, speaking of stupid translations, I have been doing a proofreading at work for our general product catalog.
Yeah.
And I'm only supposed to check sections that they've highlighted in green, because I'm supposed to trust everything else. Well, it's a good thing I'm not a very trusting person. Because I found 3 typos, one of which was the word waveform without the W, so it was just ave form. Then they accidentally put servo motor as one word instead of 2 words. But the most egregious one was, and I actually had to look, because this was under like an explanation of terms thing. So you had the term itself and then the definition, at least as
right.
in relation to what our products is. I had to look up the definition of the word to get an idea of what the hell they were talking about. Because what I saw was trance. As in, like, what you're in when you're put under hypnosis.
Right.
Which has jack shit to do with what I do. What it was actually supposed to be. Do you have any guesses, by the way, as to what it was supposed to be?
I mean, my guess would be trans, Trans, as in, like, on the opposite side.
Sort of? So,
Sort of.
go on.
No, yeah, sort of. Okay, yeah, how?
So, trans, as in that word, is what technically they call it in Japan, which is where they translated it into trance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But what it actually was transformer, as in what you use to transform between, for example, 110 volts and 220 volts, or 24
or between
volts.
a robot and a truck.
Well, as far as you know, those don't exist in real life.
As far as you know.
No, as far as you know. Anyway, so yeah, it's, I mean, specifically in this particular instance, it is just, what you use to either step up or step down your power from 110 to 220, or from 220 down to 110.
Right.
But I again, just looking at the word, trance, there was no way I would have been able to tell.
Yeah, you'd never guess.
No. And again, this wasn't something that I was supposed to look at. This is going to take way too damn long, but it's going to be worth it. Giant transforming combat robot. Snowy, shush, you're not supposed to tell anyone that. That's why I said it's as far as y'all know, that they don't exist. Stop revealing...
I believe you.
Stop revealing the ancient engineering secrets to the world. I thought I made that clear, Snowy. But yeah, no, this particular game seems to have a little bit of an awkward definition, because it's prosecutor and lawyer as opposed to prosecutor and defense attorney, with both technically being classified as lawyers, which is how we got on this topic in the first place. Anyway, even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? I'm doing the German again.
Yes, you're totally doing the German again.
My wonderful... give me a sec. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Me, my wonderful self, guilty! Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it, you can't run away from your crime anymore. Aye, you have a point there, laddie! Guilty, 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 guilty! Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That is a scary breakdown animation. Also, I have a new theory as to what happened to his face.
Ooh! Oh! My goodness!
Because at first I thought that was a tiger what scratched him. I mean, Dawning said that it was his cat. I said the claw marks were too big for a house cat. Ow, your head, Snowy. Ow, Scotchguard's head. Like that?
Yeah.
Jesus
That was
Christ.
quite the breakdown.
That was brutal. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Losses Edgeworth, how is Matt Scotchguard?
Who cares about Scotchguard? I just pulled an Articuno!
What?
I've been opening TCG pocket packs while you were taunting him. I got Articuno. It's good.
Congratulations?
Thank you. Anyway, yeah, I left Ms. Von Karma in charge of his incarceration.
Oh good,
I'm
she's gonna
sure
take him
he's
down to
getting
her
a-
dungeon.
I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip level right about now.
Like I said, she took him down to her dungeon. Snowy asked you a question, LG. Which Articuno?
EX, the good one.
Very good. Oh, apparently the judge approves of Ms. Von Karma's proclivities. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. ... First time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Losses Edgeworth really went after her. And she broke her glasses like 5 times. Or 6 times. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. I mean, to be fair, what he did was flat out illegal, but sure.
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me.
Yeah, he was brutal. He was brutal. Okay, I've lost respect for him again. But after that, when I was left alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. ... And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Hooray! Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two are in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself. We're wrapping things up finally, Luna. It fucking took me long enough. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. It is ending, yes. It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused. Yeah, no. Everybody's confused, Judge. So that's a question, Luna. And that's one that I will propose after we've seen the end credits and I've given my thoughts on this game. Because I have some thoughts of my own. Which I'm sure nobody wants to hear, but... That's something that I want to ask y'all. Anyway, as for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. That is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. Hooray! March 23rd, 5:14 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 3. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. Hooray! My perfect win record is now in the fucking toilet. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what... Yeah, no. It's honestly not about... It never has been about the perfect record. It's been about actually finding it. Like, even criminal scum who are guilty are owed a like, I guess this might be a U.S. court system thing, but everybody gets a defense attorney, right? Everybody has the right to representation, even if they are guilty. So yeah, no, it's never specifically about getting my client off if my client is guilty. It's about fighting for your, fighting to get to the truth or some such stupid nonsense. Well, I'm glad you decided to go with the lasagna, Snowy. Anyway, you have to look past all of that to what's really... Yes, no, what's really important in this case, Little Goblin is safe. Little Goblin isn't going to be pissed off at me. The guilty party, Scotchguard, is going to jail. De Killer is going to conveniently commit suicide. And, therefore, he's going to be punished for his crimes. It's a win-win. I mean, I don't think the British system affects what they do or do not do in Japan. Which, again, I think this... Well, first of all, again, whatever the hell system this is, it's not fully Japanese, it's not fully American. It's fully bullshit, is what it is. Anyway, that's what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty. I've always known that. Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Oh god, more thinking. My head's been on fire enough today, but thank you. Think to the moments before Ms. von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. I wonder if this would have chosen, or if this dialogue would be different if I had specifically chosen not guilty. Because I did choose guilty. So, well, technically I wonder...
Not according to the transcript.
Okay. Because I was going to say, well...
It only has one set.
Well, it didn't affect anything at that point in time. It would have been really funny if it actually affected something in the post. Like, in the post-trial, if I had clicked... Because it made me click one or the other. And theoretically, that could have... Would I have just gotten the bad ending?
No.
By the way, Luna, I did see the bad ending because Snowy redeemed a little goblin knows best. In the absence of Dawning and Guzmania, Lone Garurumon, who's the wonderful guy in voice chat with me this evening, can act as
Hey.
the little goblin because little goblin and LG have the same initials. So little goblin Garurumon selected a take that, and I saw what the bad ending was. It is indeed a bad and sad ending. Anyway, now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. Do I have to go through this decision again? I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Oh, right, my heart stopped. Should I side with justice or should I save Maya's life? Well, this is justice for nobody, so my client, Matt Scotchgard, is... Doesn't make me choose again. Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer. Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Fuck, I should have chosen not guilty.
Right!
Oh, it's you. Lost is Edgeworth.
I have good news! Maya is now safe in police custody.
Thank Arceus. Really? Well, that was fast. Pearls, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Lost is Edgeworth?
Yeah. She's quite safe. She is on her way here as we speak, in a patrol car.
Mystic Maya's safe. You did it, you really did it, Mr. Nick. Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her, Mr. Nick will save her. Thanks? I really do only have 2 allies in this entire planet, and it is Maya and Pearl. Oh. What's wrong? Ms. von Karma. Oh, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for bringing that evidence in. You were very helpful today. I'd give you a hug, but I feel like you're going to whip me. ... About earlier, thanks? Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. No, I'm pretty sure we all came out as winners. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. Yes, and? Technically, you weren't the one who... Fuck, this means I lost to Lost as Edgeworth. God damn it!
You sure did! I'm the best now!
I can't accept this!
I have now regained my Edgeworth.
I'm still calling you Lost as Edgeworth because we're still like 10-0. Or fine, 10-1.
You mean 5-1, right?
Let's see. I beat him in Turnabout Sisters twice because the first time was the first day was the trial against Maya, which was subsequently, obviously, she was declared not guilty when I was put on trial, and then I got myself declared not guilty, so that's 2. Then I won again in Turnabout Samurai, that's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, technically I didn't beat him in Turnabout Goodbye, but I saved his ass in Turnabout Goodbyes, so I'm counting that as 4.
Fair point.
And then I beat him in In Rise from the Ashes, that's 5.
Yeah. 5-1.
And then double everything because I'm just twice as good as him, so it's 10-1.
Well, damn, I can't argue with that.
So no, he's still lost his. He's still way in the hole anyway. So, whatever. Every dog has its day. I just wish it had been Von Karma that Franziska that had the privilege of breaking my perfect record. But whatever. Your perfect win record has now been crushed, and yet you are still happy. Of course I am. Little Goblin is safe. ... I don't think you'll ever understand, Ms. Von Karma. How dare you?
Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself, until a year ago.
Lost his Edgeworth.
For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts, I used every dirty trick in the book. And so my win record remained spotless.
Oh, so he's admitting to forging evidence.
Oh, I sure did. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me.
I'm sorry, why are you talking about me like that?
You heard me.
Jackass.
I fought him in my usual manner, and tasted my first defeat.
Ew.
I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then, it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair, and I was saved by that person I had called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for what had happened. So I left the prosecutor's office.
After a whole other trial that happened, and you were accused of forging evidence, and yada 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 yada. But technically, when this game had come out, that hadn't happened yet.
Yeah. So I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor kilometers lost his Edgeworth, chooses death.
Humph, as well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl in a hole and, as much as I don't want you to, that would technically mean you also have to crawl into a hole and die, Von Karma.
No, see, it's fine. She used gendered language. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. A prosecutor who shames herself with defeat has no issues. But
you know what? I got out-lawyered on that one. You're not wrong. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die.
But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change.
What foolish nonsense, you stupid faffel muncher.
We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so...
Objection. You're a jackass. No matter how Oh, that's your line. Sorry, I saw myself on screen and heard myself object.
No, yeah. Completely understandable. No matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his dying faith. Undying faith.
Because
Yes,
he's an idiot.
Big difference. Very important difference.
Yes, very big and important difference. Also because the man is an idiot.
And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
What? You trusted your enemy?
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one.
But
It's
I
never
like
easy.
Iron Valiant.
It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you.
The truth?
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense lawyers exist.
Hey, it actually
I'm
got
sure-
it right this time.
For once, yeah!
Prosecutors and defense attorneys instead of prosecutors and lawyers. Huh! Another Hanukkah
But-
miracle, except it's no longer Hanukkah.
But
Anyway.
I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right?
Yeah, sure. I've known it all along.
That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who ran away into hiding. Isn't that right?
No, I
This
didn't.
man who only had his sights set on victory. Who ran away into the night.
I didn't forgive you because I thought you were fucking dead.
Oh, it was because you hated me for lying!
Yeah, I hate you for lying about being dead. I wish you were dead. Anyway, is Mr. Lost as Edward's right, Mr. Nick? Not even close? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. I don't remember any of this. This never happened. All those years ago. And you betrayed your... Well, no shit, he did. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. Okay, you didn't technically decide that. He kind of said that he did. Or are we retconning this to say that Phoenix knew he was alive the whole time? And just...
Maybe?
Because I get it. Right? Like, I 100% get saying that, you know, somebody you know has died when technically they're still alive, right? There was a point in time when I had to do that to my former best friend when she was still in a cult. Thankfully, whatever, but, like, I absolutely get it. Yes, the game finally learned proper law terms. But anyway, so I get having to, but, like, retconning this is bullshit. Like, they actually believed he was dead. Again, I'm pretty fucking sure Shu Takumi was actually drunk for this whole fucking game.
Honestly, at this point, most likely.
You pathetic fool! You stupid farfel muncher! Miss von Karma? I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Then I guess you're not a Von Karma because you've lost? And there's no gendered language here, so... No lawyering your way out of that one? Kilometers lost.
No.
Kilometers lost his Edgeworth. You have lost your Edgeworth, and you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma, which might actually be the greatest compliment that anyone has ever given anybody else. Oh, she actually acknowledges, and neither am I. It is over. It is all over. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is... Oh, right, your line.
This is an electromagnetic receiver.
Oh, so she's no longer tracking Gumshoe. Good, I was actually a little worried about his safety, being tracked and stalked by an 18-year-old girl. A violent 18-year-old girl, I might point out.
Yes. Finally, he's safe.
Isn't that
I'll return this to the precinct later.
Yeah.
There's something else.
Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? Okay, so you actually said you're gonna...
Yeah, sorry, I thought that was like you were doing that instead of the line.
No, sometimes I ad-lib completely, but... Wait, did she... She left her wit behind? Well, now I know things are serious. Ah, isn't that Ms. Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action.
Okay, but I feel like she'd want the whip for what she's going to be doing outside of court. You know what? Never mind.
Look, everybody knows that there's no use for a whip except for whipping uppity attorneys.
Or judges, or witnesses. Weapons are allowed past TSA. I suppose. But, like, again, the whip thing is 100% her. Or her mother's influence, because it's very clearly not Manfred's influence. Oh, actually, Luna. Luna. Were you here a couple weeks ago when I was opening the presents that Ellison and Midorikawa got me? Do I actually still have... No, I don't. I would need to get a picture of that again.
It should still be in the voice chat.
No, I've got it somewhere. I think I accidentally deleted it, so let's browse. Let's find this. Where the hell did I put it? That's a question. Is it in downloads? Yes? Yes. So...
It was definitely printed Ace Attorney.
Yes. They got me a body pillow with Manfred von Karma on it.
It's fantastic. I love this thing.
And I actually have... I put that on my bed. And yes, the live reaction to me, I mean, obviously no camera, just like as you see now, but like the that was in
The audio was fantastic.
Yeah. That was, I mean, it was in a Tears of the Kingdom stream, not an Ace Attorney stream, but that was a couple of Tears of the Kingdom streams ago. So it was day before Christmas.
I think it was the 25th. The stream on the 25th, actually.
It was the 24th. my time. So it would have been the 25th
Well, no,
your time.
No, that's what I was accounting for.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah, so it would have been the night of the 25th for you.
No, it was the night of the 24th for me, but yeah. That's true, you made an almost Christmas joke and left. It was about half an hour into the... Anyway, regardless. But yeah, no, that's... I love my friends. I have such good friends. Anyway, ...
You should keep this right.
What the fuck do you think I need a whip for? Okay? Nick! Yay! It's the little goblin. I've missed her so much.
She's okay!
She's okay. She needs hugs, lots of diamond snacks, and probably burgers. Maya! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Yay! The little goblin is back. Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got Scotchguard convicted like I knew you would. Yeah, the whip... You know what? She did say earlier that she wants a whip and she wants to whip Phoenix. At which point I said I know she and Von Karma are going to get along very well. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. I will give you desserts, but I'm not going to desert you. You are a good little goblin. But boy, we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing there. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. She would. ... Is it really that easy to do something like that? I mean, Mia sure as hell does.
Mia doesn't.
To be fair, I think Pearl actually has to summon her, but...
Yeah, let's be honest. In a practical sense, did Mia even really die?
Not really. Like, not in the slightest. ... Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it.
Maya.
Oh! Mr. Lost Sedgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey! It looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Lost as Edward. He actually has, considering the fact that he couldn't even thank her for saving his ass in turnabout goodbyes. You give him hell, Maya. He deserves it.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Heh. Oh, poor little goblin, he's hungry. Alright, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick! Food! Grub, chow, I'm starved. You always have to feed your little goblins. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice... even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun, Nick. Oh god. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Lost as Edward, please.
If you insist.
All right. Oh, it's Phoenix's line. I was about to say my line, but that doesn't make any sense in context. All right. So how about we hit up our usual burger joint? You know, that's the actual reason that we're inviting Lost as Edward, so he can pay for lunch. or dinner at this point, because it was like 5:14 p.m. It's a little early for dinner, but Little Goblin has been starved for the past couple of days. She needs food. Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast. Come on, Nick. Food.
Come on, Nick. You really think they have the budget to draw up a whole new scene for a burger place? We have to reuse the hotel.
Except it's the wrong part of the hotel. We're fucking in the lobby instead of Viola Hall. Also, the only reason they had that lunch there or that dinner there to begin with was because of the specific event for the Heroes Grand Prix. It's not like there's going to be any food there, and if there is, it's the leftover food that's been sitting around for 2 days. And Old Bag's already got dibs anyway. Anyway, Gatewater Hotel lobby. Hey, Belle! Sorry to keep... Wow, he looks bad without the trench coat. And the bandages on his head. Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm real embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit it. Oh, so it wasn't him getting hit by another car because of his recklessly driving through red lights. The guy hit a fucking telephone pole. He hit a stationary object. Oh boy. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole. And it wasn't a red... Hey, Jesus Christ, okay. It wasn't a red light that got him. Hey, you did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. What does she mean I did it again? She didn't know Maya was kidnapped. As far as she's concerned, I lost.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Luna, he hit it in a car, and I presume he was going pretty fast in said car. Speaking of, I hated my drive to work this morning. It was very icy out. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks? Now look at here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Right too hard? If you don't stop being a lot nicer to him, you might just kick it. Tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now, everybody gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine, professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Hey, well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Even though, again, we're in the lobby, not the Viola Hall. Amen to that, pal. Amen. Oh, now we're in the Viola Hall. So why the fuck were we in the lobby to begin with?
Well, we were waiting for Gumshoe.
We could have been waiting for him in the fucking hall.
That would be rude.
What do you mean that would be rude? Well, whatever. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective. Eh? Me? Yous really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending.
Yes, one that we saw. Well, it's, it's, ho 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 ho. Wait? That's odd. When I ran off with the things from de Killer's hideout, Phoenix isn't that delicate. He won't die if he gets his feelings hurt. Also won't die from several whiplash. I mean, he got whipped into unconsciousness. I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? Not a fire hydrant, a fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher.
To the skull. That's true. That could have been bad. 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. But whoo, boy, I tell you, you were really something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped. Never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? That's an excellent question. But...
Oh, she craves a life of excitement.
Yeah, but food. But being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So, where is this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. ... You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. Ah. Sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What the? Is that the fucking transceiver? What is it, Lost Edgeworth? Oh.
This thing is picking something up.
Ah, that's Ms. von Karma's receiver. Ugh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Or the tracking device was in your trench coat and you're not wearing it anymore?
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Hold on. We haven't eaten anything yet. Oh, I actually didn't know that was Maya's next line, but... Huh? But Mr. Lost Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton.
I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Wait.
What? ...
I just want to say... LG, do I have to say this?
Yeah, it's your line.
I could just skip it.
But that would be improper.
Since when do I do things properly around here?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what? Just to show that I'm past the hatred phase with this guy. Thanks, Lost Edgeworth. You really saved me out there.
If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right?
I just fucking said that! I don't want to say it again. Don't make me say that again. I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. A whip? I feel like that's going to convey the wrong message, but I'm going to give it to him anyway.
What's this?
Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. ...
You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
If you say so. It looks like Mr. Lost Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya. Give him his Imperial system back. No! Hmm? Yes, Pearly? I guess you... What? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and... We never... God... Damn it, Pearls! Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway... So, who's paying for this lovely dinner party? The guy who was going to pay left. As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put his name on the bill. You should have put Lost as Edgeworth. He makes a fuck ton more money than I do. Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop at this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It'd better be anyhow for $3,000. I mean, Phoenix already went into debt getting the circus tickets last time, but whatever. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. I don't have a tab at this hotel! Excuse you? Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. ... Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal, time to let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. ... Alright then, if you say so. Objection! And yes, I specifically did Manfred von Karma there, because it really deserved it. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. My Phoenix doesn't get money from this. Okay, what?
Just tell me when you reach my bit in the credits. I have 1.
Fair enough. I'm so happy you could say, Mr. I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymoon. So I sort of made reservation. How could an 8-year-old fucking make reservations at a hotel? The same way someone can literally put a $3,000 camera on someone else's tab. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Lost as Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, who we don't know is, and got him reinstated on it for his sake. I heard him say something, letting him do crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. Just like Charles from, Henry Stickmin. Charles Calvin from Henry Stickmin. I missed half of his lines. Oh, hey, it's Maggie Bird. I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. Okay? Bring smiles and joy to people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. You know, Phoenix never has any... Well, first of all, nobody ever actually pays Phoenix. Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hottie. Ho ho. Recently? Yes, that girl you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes, but I remember if I even laid so much an eye on her crack whip, it didn't matter if I got whipped though. Yes. Ho ho. Of course, Director Hottie, quote-unquote Director Hottie would be the... Because there's only one person stupid enough to actually believe that he was a real director. Oh
She
ho!
took such good care of Franziska.
To let the world know we are serious, I plan to making a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey Max, what do you think, loser fuckface, what do you think Zimbabwe's like? Think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk? What? I think if we're talking bunnies, even they wouldn't laugh at Moe's jokes. I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls, represent. Hey, we've gotta get our new act all worked out. I'll prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Hey, say something, will you, dummy? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. I'm surprised I remembered all these fucking voices.
Yeah, you're doing really good, actually.
What's this? Dread, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging an instant. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do? Oh, right. She had to scan the entire... Oh, but it's Angie Poo's idea. That means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? I was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy, and then they'd treat me like royal. Man, I'm feeling pain about the hill. Get the burn, speedily burn, play with fires, very dangerous because the three wire eyes. And this the center burn out because they're using rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a. She talks fast.
Sure does.
I appreciate everything you and Mr. Losses Edworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right, I received a letter from Ms. von Karma. Said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. Really thankful to have met everyone. Why would she want to consult von Karma?
Man, everyone's going on about Fran Maya. What about Fran Andrews?
It's de Killer's line.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you're going to commit suicide, and that's 5 radio explosions. Oh, there's more. International Departures Gate 12.
Where are you going, Franziska? ...
exclamation mark. How did you know I was here?
With this.
That's...
I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
That's just like you. To wonder why I, an 18-year-old girl, would plant a tracking device on a grown man. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his that you're still carrying for some reason. Okay, why is she still carrying his coat?
I think it's just for this scene to work. I sincerely have no idea why else.
Because that really does take her putting the tracking device on him to a whole new level of creepy, that she is literally she says it's filthy, drab, and disgusting, but she's still carrying it around with her. You know what? I'm not even gonna go here. I don't like it. I don't want to think about it. They specifically did this because the scene wouldn't work otherwise. Oh, of course, she's gonna deny knowing that it was in her, even though she had to fucking pack it in there. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage, but it's going into trash, I promise you that.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
Oh dear. She needed to make sure it didn't get even further filthy. Sure. Anyway. When I ran off with the things from de Killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things?
It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket.
He put it in here? What are you talking about, you stupid fateful muncher? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
What are you going to do now? ...
That is none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up, you stupid fateful muncher. You don't understand a thing. You cannot possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. She had it so she could wash it when she gets back to Germany and then mail it back. Sure, we'll go with that.
Franziska.
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must... See, it was her dad that pressured her into becoming a prosecutor.
And yeah, Manfred fucked both of these kids up.
He did. And the whip thing is still 100% her, because Manfred didn't have it, Losses Edward didn't. So she... I still maintain what she actually wanted to do was clearly work in a circus as an animal tamer, not other professions for which you might need a whip. Expectations but then that does make me wonder why she left the whip behind. Probably because she was throwing it. I mean, she's only 18. She was probably throwing a temper tantrum. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure, such a thing, is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there is no doubt about that. But me, I am no genius. I've always known that. ... But I had to be one. I had to.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
What if I do not want to be a prosecutor, you stupid fateful muncher? Why can I not go pursue my own dreams? No, I am not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. You don't...
Speaking of...
You don't need the whip to be a prosecutor. You need a whip for something else. Anyway.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you?
Yes, I play 5D chess. You eat checkers. ...
I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
I think she does. I think it's not people in a courtroom. Dot. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Kilometers lost his edge worth. I've always hated you. ... And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you had arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you, and even her own father. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw everything I've been until... I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can. Just like Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You are going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right?
Humph.
Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side.
Exclamation mark.
But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. ...
Oh, she's crying. She needs a hug. And I know that Lost Edgeworth isn't tactful enough to give her one. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I am going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you'd better prepare yourself. Kilometers lost his Edgeworth. And yet she still took the plane and flew away. Phoenix Wright, one day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece. What? So I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Oh dear. What? Is that a... That's Maya's drawing. She drew...
Hold on, give it a second. The thing isn't... The stream hasn't caught up yet. Aww.
She drew Phoenix's face on Shelley de Killer's. I mean, Shelley de Killer did
that's
technically...
very cute, actually.
Shelley de Killer did technically say that he was thinking about having Phoenix be his successor. Okay, so... that is Ace Attorney 2 done and dusted. There are a lot of things that I really dislike about this game. And I'll only go over them briefly because I went over them in a lot more detail in previous episodes. So, in short, number 1, Case 1, the tutorial was incredibly ham-fisted and way too fucking long. Case 2. I had to get a pretty redhead convicted of murder. And damn, she was really cute. Case 3, the whole fucking pedophilia thing. Like, ew.
Yeah, that was bad.
It served no purpose to the story, and ruined, because that case could have been good. It had some good points, it had some good moments. The whole idea of Trillo beating up Ben, like, that's hilarious. But it just, like, that whole thing.
Yeah,
ruined.
I feel like if you just cut out that one element, then the rest of the case is actually pretty good.
It probably still could have worked. In fact, it almost certainly still could have worked. And then, I guess technically this was the end of Case 3, but it really came to a head in Case 4. The whole Edgeworth suicide thing. Because as much as Shu Takumi at the end tries to kind of hand-wave it away, where Phoenix claims or seems to have claimed that he only had, quote-unquote, spiritually killed off the person he knew as Edgeworth. No. Like, Gumshoe believed he was dead. Franziska believed he was dead. Everybody believed he was dead. You can't fucking hand-wave that away, as they had all spiritually cut him out of their lives. So, I just, it's a really stupid decision that they made. I've been over it. I'm not going to say it too much again, but y'all know how I feel about that. And then Case 4 was putting a little goblin in danger and not letting me set everyone on fire. Speaking of which, my canon ending to this is less than a day after this trial concluded, Shelley de Killer was found completely... He was found dead. I haven't quite figured out where or how, but it was a very, very, very painful suicide. In fact, he left his own calling card at his death, just to make sure nobody else got accused of it. And a suicide note explaining that Scotchguard had in fact been his client, and how horrible of a person he was for putting a little goblin in danger. So, Shelley de Killer, in fact, did not have a very long life. He died less than a day after the case was over. What an unexpected turn of events. But it does get back to what I've said about visual novels in general, where they are way too fucking rigid for me. Which, whatever. So that brings me to my next point, which is, where do I go from here? Because there is, in fact, one more game on here called Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And the question becomes...
I call dibs on the prosecutor for that game too, by the way.
If you're here for that, that's perfectly fine.
Well, yes, of course.
Anyway, so the question is, do I go straight to Trials and Tribulations? Or do I take a break from Ace Attorney for a little while and start a new series? Brand new series. Game that I've wanted to play for quite some time on this channel. But, well, I haven't had the time slot open. I'll let y'all ponder this, and I'm not going to tell you what the game is, because I do want the new series whenever the heck it happens. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I will play Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And I will play whatever the heck this other game is at some point in time. It's just a question of whether I go straight to Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, because I do feel a little bit burned out from Ace Attorney right now. Or do I... And this new series wouldn't be something like Ghost Trick, where it's like 5 episodes and I'm done. Like, this would be something that's probably going to take a while. The next game was originally written as a case, but the third case in this game, but I think... Anyway, like I said, mull that over. And we'll ponder that for next time. Or just for the future. I don't have to worry about it until next Monday. Speaking of which, I suppose I should begin wrapping up for the day. So, if you enjoyed today's stream, but you only caught part of it, you can watch this episode and all of my content over on my YouTube channel over there. You can also catch me live on my Twitch channel over... That's not how you spell Twitch. Over there, I, surprise, will actually be sticking to my regular schedule this week, as in streaming at 7:30 p.m. Monday and 7:30 p.m. Wednesday. It's not a holiday week anymore. So, that's where you can find me on Monday nights and Wednesday nights. You can also find me on the Bulbagarden Twitch channel over there, where I am currently streaming a water-type only run of Alpha Sapphire. You can also catch other great streamers there, like Caps Fan, and you can catch him on his channel over there when he is live. I believe that will be all for me for this evening. So, if you have an opinion on whether I should go for Ace Attorney 3 next, or a brand new series, make sure you stop by my channel on Wednesday night, when I will actually be asking that question for real. Again, ponder that for the next couple of days. But as always, I am Maniacal Engineer, and I'm never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Thank you all for watching, and God bless this mess.
Good night, everybody.
See y'all on Wednesday.